Imagine waking up tomorrow morning. You check your phone. The news apps won't load. Government websites are offline. And then you hear it. The most powerful country on earth no longer exists. No president, no military command, no laws being enforced, just confusion and silence. It sounds impossible, unreal, but history says otherwise. Welcome to the Daily Decode. Today, we're uncovering how the world's greatest empires rose to unimaginable power and then collapsed in ways no one believed possible. And by the end of this story, you'll realize something unsettling. Every empire thinks it's different. Every empire thinks it's untouchable. They're always wrong. Let's start with one of the most powerful empires to ever exist, Rome. At its peak, the Roman Empire controlled nearly 1/4 of the world's population. That's more than any modern superpower has ever ruled directly. Rome wasn't just strong, it was everywhere. Their roads stretched across continents. Their laws shaped justice systems we still use today. Their engineers built structures that are still standing 2,000 years later. The Romans didn't just conquer land, they built a system. And they believed that system would last forever. They even had a phrase for it, Roma Eterna, eternal Rome. But history has a cruel habit of humbling those who believe in eternity. Here's something most people don't realize. Empires don't collapse when they're weak. They collapse when they believe they're at their strongest. Rome didn't fall during chaos. It fell during comfort. As wealth poured in, power concentrated at the top, and slowly, cracks began to form. Roman emperors were no longer chosen because they were capable leaders. They were chosen through bribery, political manipulation, and violence. Sometimes the army picked the emperor. Sometimes the Senate did. Sometimes assassins decided. One emperor might rule for decades. The next might not survive the year. Imagine trying to run a global empire with leadership changing constantly. Corruption became normal, greed became expected, and ordinary citizens paid the price. Taxes rose higher and higher. The poor struggled to survive. Small farmers lost their land, and soldiers, the backbone of the empire, stopped believing in what they were defending. When loyalty disappears, power fades quickly. Rome still looked powerful from the outside, but inside it was exhausted. And while Rome was distracted by internal chaos, something else was happening. Its enemies were paying attention. Here's a critical pattern in history. Empires rarely fall because of one massive attack. They fall because they stop adapting. Rome relied on old strategies, old systems, old thinking. Meanwhile, the world around it changed. New enemies emerged, faster, more flexible, more desperate. And desperation is dangerous. Then came the moment no one thought possible. The year was 410 AD. For the first time in nearly 800 years, the city of Rome was invaded. Not just attacked, invaded. Barbarian forces entered the city and looted it. When news spread, people didn't believe it. How can Rome fall, they asked. Rome wasn't just a city, it was an idea. The idea that some powers were simply too big to fail. But Rome had already failed. The invasion wasn't the cause, it was the confirmation. After that night, Rome never truly recovered. The empire didn't collapse all at once. It faded, bit by bit, province by province, until one day, the Western Roman Empire simply didn't exist anymore. No final battle, no dramatic ending, just history turning the page.